Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and thank you for joining us today. It's another live session brought to you exclusively by Kelly Tech IT Academy, and it's always a pleasure to be here again to share some very exciting and educative information with you all. So I hope that there are a few people online that can join the conversation. And if you happen to be watching, just kindly let us know where you're watching from. And we would be so glad to give a shout out to you. So, once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. Where I am right now, which is Indiana in the United States, it is 9 p.m. And so I'm sure that some people might be watching from different time zones. And so feel free to drop a message, let us know where you're watching from, and we will duly acknowledge you. I'm sure that some people are watching on YouTube, some are watching on Facebook, but wherever you're watching from, it's exciting to be here and always very great to come on board and share valuable information. And you can always count on us to share with you information that will help you boost your career and generally, enhance your personal development. And so today I am your humble host, Beverly Defoyne, as always. And I'm sure that if you've been following Calitech IT Academy for the past couple of weeks, we've been coming live quite a bit, maybe more often than usual, but that's because there's something very special coming up, and that is the grand orientation of the 16th batch of the Kiawi Tech IT Academy. And so we cannot wait to share with you what that would look like and what awaits you if you join the train. And so yes, I am not alone on this today. I'm joined by Elvis Beba, and you will be seeing him shortly. So, right here, there you go.
Okay.
Welcome, Mr. Elvis. How are
Thank
you?
you, Beverly. It's a
Right,
pleasure being with you again.
all right. I wanted to keep you backstage for a bit so I can take a little bit of the shine before you come and steal my shine.
Oh, the shine has always been on you, so you have all it takes for you to shine and shine and shine. So
Okay.
I'm instead the one coming in to steal the shine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you got me.
You want to steal my
Oh, you got me.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So great. It's so good to have you. I was just introducing just greeting whoever is watching. I see there's one person online watching. So specifically on YouTube. Yeah.
Great,
So
great.
and I'm sure it's also evening for you. So I was just saying, wherever people are watching from, whether it's a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, you're all welcome to the live show today, where
Wow.
we are bringing to you any and everything that you need to know about Kiawi Tech IT Academy and how you can make the most of the opportunities that are available in this institution for you. And like I earlier said, if you've noticed, we've been coming live for the past couple of weeks a bit more often than usual, and that is because we have very special events coming up and we don't want you to miss out. We want you to be a part of every single part of the process because this is a community that we're building and we want you to be part of it. So, straight off, we're going to share with you a little bit of what Kiawi Tech IT Academy is about. For those who are joining for the first time, for those who have never heard of Kiawi Tech IT Academy, Kiawi
Yeah.
Tech is an IT training institution that is based in the United States, and it trains the young, the old, educated, uneducated, literate, illiterate, whatever you call yourself, you can be trained by Kiawi Tech IT Academy. And so Kiawi Tech
Absolutely.
trains everyone from wherever around the world. And for the past decade, this institution has diligently and in a very committed way trained hundreds and hundreds of people from around the world in different IT fields like database administration, Azure cloud computing, Amazon Web Services, cybersecurity, and so much more, and even soft skills. And so, this might just be your turn if you have not yet benefited from this quality training. Our 16th batch is right at the door, about to get in, and so you might just want to hop in and come with us. So that's a brief about what Kiawe Tech IT Academy is about, and I'm sure Mr. Elvis can better articulate this more than me, but I will just pause here and let him share a little bit about the registration process. If you're interested in pursuing a career in IT, if you're interested in a career shift. Maybe you were in a different career now and you just want to make a shift into IT and you're not sure where to start. You are not even sure if this is something you should be doing or this is something you would survive in. Yes, you will get all the answers today. And I promise you, Mr. Elvis is here with all the information and, of course, myself. I trust what I say, but I know that he has all the G's and all of that for you. So, Mr. Elvis, can you just help us walk through that process? What is the process like,
Okay.
registration process into Kiawe Tech IT Academy?
Great. Thank you, Beverly. I must say, you know a lot more than myself, but I think we will just have to keep patching, and then at the end of the day, we should be able to dish out all that it takes for you to be a successful student or trainee with Cavitech IT Academy.
Right.
First, I'd like to emphasize, in addition to all that Beverly has said, is that we are a community oriented training institution, not just an establishment that's been on training and then you go fend for yourself, see what you do at the end of the day with the training. We reassure you that we are that kind of institution that takes you from the training class into the job market or make you create a job and then start earning the money. So she has listed all that we are into. And one of the things I can also reassure you is that Calvitech is structured in such a way that all you need as a qualification for you to go through the training is your corporate exposure. Corporate exposure is nothing extraordinary. You're used to probably just helping people make phone calls. That means you can interact, you can exchange, you can communicate, you have some data you've been dealing with, you have some phone numbers, you have a couple of names, you have customers and stuff like that. So that exposure is all you need and for you to go through the training successfully. So right away or within the last few months or days, we've been telling you all about our different courses, how Calvitech operates, how best Calvitech makes sure that you go through the training and get the job or create a job and stuff like that. You get all the support you need. So it's that time for you to engage with us, to reach out to us and be part of this training if you haven't before. Or even if you went through the training somewhere and you were discouraged, come to Kiavitech IT Academy and we'll prove to you that we can take anybody from any angle and make sure that you go through the training and you get a job. And we are not also forgetting those who, for any reason, started up the training and then for one reason or the other, were not able to go through. Please come back and we'll be able to see you through. So, what does it take at this point for you to go through or for you to engage in the training? As we speak to you, you'll see our contacts, you'll see our website where you need to be able to apply for the training. We, like Beverly said, we do have a couple of training all oriented around database management. What is database management? It's all about having data in an organized manner and making sure that those who need it are able to access and use it for business as well as you making sure that it's available for them, protecting and all of that. So when you hear all the different courses that we offer, be it Microsoft Database SQL Server Administration, be it Azure, be it AWS, be it IBM Guardium or cyber security, it's all about data management, data security, and all of that. So With Cavitech IT Academy, what it takes for you to start is just go to our website. You see our different contacts, you see the links for you to apply for our course. And then as you start the process, one of the things Cavitech does is when you indicate that you're interested in the training, the first thing is we engulf you into our Cavitech community. We do have an a WhatsApp group that welcomes all those who show interest, not just those who have applied for the course. When you show interest with training, we do welcome you into that group. And then we try to orientate you, break down a lot of things probably that you're still struggling to understand before you can engage in the training. When you apply for the training, you do have, at the end of the day, you will have a response from us with all the requirement, the checklist that you need for you to be able to go through the course successfully. You probably go through a some kind of test in the registration or application process. When you score a certain level, we can already orientate and see that okay, this person, we need to help him to be able to meet up with the class or to do some basics before the class start up. That is why we do have, as well as our trainings, before our training starts, we do have a pre-computer class or basic computer class training where we get to drill you on all the basics that you will need for you to go through the training successfully without really mentioning the training as just at that level. I can reassure you that you can even get a job just going through our Caritech pre-computer class or basic computer class training. You can start from there and then get a job. Now, when you decide on which of our courses that you'll be taking, be it Microsoft SQL Server Database Administration Training, be it AWS, and so on, we
Uh,
now
Mr. Elvis, can I ask this question?
sure
Just permit me pause for a minute. But so we've listed quite a lot of courses like Azure, cloud computing, Amazon Web Services, database administration, SQL database administration, cybersecurity. I think there's IBM as well.
IBM
Um,
Guardium, yes,
Right. So, for someone who has no prior exposure to
yes.
an IT course, is there any course you would recommend that they start with if they are wondering which of these courses to take? What orientation would you give someone who has no prior experience or exposure to
Yeah.
IT?
Okay. The good thing, like I said, is everybody is qualified. So
Okay.
obviously, one thing I can assure you, depending on your commitment and your determination, you can start with any of those courses.
Okay.
But we always encourage that if for any reason you haven't been engaged in the computer war
Hmm.
before or in the IT war, you start with Microsoft SQL Server Database Administration. That will give you the base for you to be able to excel, probably say in Azure, probably say in AWS, IBM Guardium, which is a combination of all those things, or even cybersecurity. So you can start with any of those courses, depending on your determination and your commitment. But we always encourage that if you need a base to start with, you can start with Microsoft Database Administration training.
Okay.
Yeah. So generally, that is how we orientate our students. So
Oh, great.
yeah,
So
or
thank
those
you
who are
for
interested
saying
in our
so
training.
many things. I know you have so much to share to share. You have so much information. And so I got my answer right at the end of your sentence because you
Great,
said
great.
you if the everybody can do anything if they are willing and determined to do it, but
Sure, sure.
what you would recommend as a go-to course for someone who for some reason has not been exposed to um, computer basics is database administration, right?
Sure, sure,
Basic
sure.
database administration. So, um, from my understanding is that we have the grand orientation of batch 16 just right at the door. And that is, again, to correct any misinformation that went out already, saying that orientation was on the 30th of March.
Yes.
We're here to correct that information to say the grand orientation will take place on the 6th of April 2024. So mark your calendars and be sure to join us on the 6th of April 2024. And
Yeah.
so, to that effect, we will also circulate a flyer that has all the details, the Zoom login, and everything, so you can be sure to have all in one place and you can join us. But for someone who is perhaps interested and is wondering what it would take in terms of resources, and by resources, I mean equipment, like what do I need to get into this class? Do I just pick up my computer that I have been using? I don't know what details or specs the computer has. And so, any specifications in terms of these kind of resources before we get into financial resources?
Sure. We do have some basics specification with regards to the computers or other devices that you will need to go through the training effectively. However, let me just use an example of, say, if you want to start with, so for example, Microsoft SQL Server Database Administration, for example,
Okay.
you will need a computer with at least a processor of Core i5 and above. You can have 7 and so on. So you have a processor with an i5, you have a RAM of at least 16, you can have 24, you can have 32, and so on. Now, also for the memory, you must have a memory of at least 500 gigabyte. SSD preferable, but you can have HDD, but SSD will be faster. So the solid state drive will be faster. So
Okay.
either of them, be it HDD or SSD, will still be fine. But our preference, or we encourage people to have SSD. Then also, you need the internet. Wherever you are, you need the internet for you to be able to connect, because our courses are all done online.
All
Like
right.
Beverly said, we do train from all parts of the world. We do have schedules that fall within the line from all parts of the world. So if you are wherever you are in the world, you can always fit into any of our schedules. Join the Zoom through our Zoom links to be able to go through the training successfully. And one good thing about it is that not only do we teach online, we do have recordings of our classes for you to follow up immediately after the class and then catch up and prepare for the next class. And then also, aside from the internet, you will need a monitor. As we speak on this screen now, you probably say, for example, you're listening to an instructor giving you example, making
Right.
some presentation. You probably, and which is what is required, you need to be able to do what the instructor is telling you on another screen. That's why you need an external monitor. That external monitor is nothing complicated. Yes, you can have an additional laptop as an external
Can I
monitor.
ask a
That will be
question?
perfect.
I feel like I'm in class. I need to raise my hand. Like, hi,
Sure.
sir.
Yeah. Sure.
Hi, sir.
So, okay.
Okay. So, sorry to interrupt. This might skip my mind if I let you go on. But I was wondering, can this monitor just be your TV set at home?
Absolutely. I was just about coming to that.
Oh,
So
okay,
you
good.
can have a TV set. What we discourage is that you should sit and consider probably your 30, the biggest screen that you have in your house for your uh, viewing as a monitor. No. Look for
Okay.
something that your eyes are comfortable with. At least we always encourage you to work within 22, 30, 27, and 32 and stuff like that. Something that you can sit and focus on. Your big screen in the house can connect, yes, but that the resolution will be a little bit complex for you to go through it successfully your study. So we encourage you to get a TV screen. It's very cheap. If you cannot get a monitor, say for any of those high marks like HP, Dell, and so on, you can get the smaller one, just as TV screen, very cheap ones out there. And then you need an external mouse. Just get a mouse in addition to that, because you will not want to be struggling with the internal mouse. And then probably there are a few things that the instructor will be going ahead as well as other students, and you will need to catch up. Then you need an external keyboard. There are times that your laptop might not permit you to quickly type something, but when you have an external keyboard, you can quickly type and you can quickly follow up with the instruction. So you have those basic things and you're good to go. So Those are the basics. You can garnish it with any other thing, a good table, a good chair, and so on. A good lighting system because you want to appear good in your classes. So every other thing it can be added, but those basics is what you need for you to go through the training successfully. And above all, commitment and the desire to succeed in IT.
Interesting. Thank you so
Mm.
much. That was very in depth. And of course, I expected that from you because you're very much loaded with so much information. And so there's always so much to share. And
Right.
yeah. And you also mentioned the 500, um,
Gigabyte
yes, the 500
memory.
a minimum. And I was going to make a comment to that because during my time, um, well, when we say minimum, and we do not encourage people to go for more, people
Yes,
just go for the minimum. You know, people want to go for the minimum because perhaps it's cheaper and whatever. But
true.
students get to experience challenges with speed, which heavily impact your speed of learning and catching up with other people. So I don't know if you might want to hammer more on, although the minimum is 500, try to go for something more just so that
True.
you.
Thank you, Beverly, for that. I
Mhm.
think that's something that I just want to add that I remember in my time in the training I have in, unfortunately, some trainees who started up with me that dropped out of the class because of
Oh
memory
my God.
along the line. Because initially, even at a very smaller one, you'll be able to cope. But as you grow gradually into the course, which is where it becomes even more interesting,
Right.
where you kind of visualize your work environment. So we do some kind of basics, and then you start the training. And I just want to emphasize here as a proceeding that with Kiavitech IT Academy, you are not just going into one classroom work and then you do classwork work, and then at the end of the day, you probably need to go on for an internship before you can really call yourself a practicing database administrator. No, the way our training is oriented is like you are on an internship. So you are trained by most, or if not all, our trainee instructors are practicing IT specialists in all the fields that we have named. So you are trained by somebody who is giving you examples from his work experience. He's not just telling you what the theory or some textbooks or stuff said.
Right.
No, he's giving you practical example, and that's how you grow, and that's how you are able to challenge somebody who probably went through a 3 years course in the university for computer science. You who went just for 6 months intense training, focus on that which is needed at a job and not just some literature. You challenge that person. So, coming back to the computer aspect and the
Right.
specification, please, we do encourage people to get more than 500 gigabyte. You
Right.
have to, because one of the things that happened to one of my a close friend that went through the training was that yes, you agree that you have a computer or a laptop with 500 memory, but before coming to the class, you've used like 200 gigabyte for your own personal stuff.
Right.
So you're left with 300, which is not enough for the process. So for the training. So a lot of them, you're fighting with keeping your personal data and fighting with having to work with the data or satisfy that space which is needed for your training and all of that. Before you know, others are moving in front and you're discouraged. And one other thing about that is this monitor, just to add to it, is this monitor aspect. When you're struggling with your, if for any reason you are not able to get your monitor, when you're struggling to use your laptop at the same time listen and practice, others will move ahead, and before you know, you just get lost and you're discouraged. We try our best to make sure you're ready for nothing to discourage you in the process. One funny thing we always tell ourselves or those who are interested in our training is that at the beginning it will pretentiously show you something as though it's some kind of rocket science. Please, that is just for you to prove that you're getting into something much better.
Right.
Everything you get into, which seems to challenge you at the beginning, means that you're getting into something great. and you have the right
Absolutely.
persons to help you through the process. So thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Beverly, for making us emphasize on that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really needed that like nailed down because it always seems like it's not so much of a big deal, but when you get into the training, you start to face those difficulties. And I mean, we talk about the good part of the training, but we also need to just spot these challenges that you might face. And so, at this point, if you have this information and you can avoid those kind of challenges, then you will be able to sail through easily. So it's true that recorded videos are available, but mind you, um, if you're not part of a class like live and you were watching the video after, it's not the same feeling. It's
True.
definitely not the same feeling, and also you cannot just stop the teacher to ask a question when you're watching a video because the professor is not available for you to ask the question, and so or the
Yeah.
instructor, if I might say. But walking through this process, the process that I have gone through, I would say that one of the things that this class does to you is that it builds your public speaking skills, whether you like it or
Absolutely.
not. Whether you like it or not, the favorite part of the favorite and maybe most I don't know, scary part of the training was having to present, having to share what you were saying that you're learning, in a panel of your teammates, your group mates and your instructor and other people who as part of
Exactly.
the community, because the first phase of the training you have like, okay, first presentations, your group is going to work on a project and come, and every single person has to present. You work on a PowerPoint, so it's a lot of things that you are learning in the course of learning this one skill. You are learning how to put together a PowerPoint, put together slides, come and do your presentations, speak to people, and show
Exactly.
that this is something that you really master. And you do that throughout the training, because even the midterm, in the middle of the course, there's still like a second set of group presentations. And this is not to scare anybody who is not really a fan of speaking out. Of course, this is where you will speak out whether you like it or not, and that will build your speaking skills and your confidence as well in yourself, in the knowledge that you have. Because most times I come across people who have like an imposter syndrome. Even when they know something, they
Yes.
don't want to feel like they know it. They want to yeah, so you know something, but you don't feel like you actually know it. So you don't want to show up as somebody who really knows something. But that is self confidence. If you're really able to present yourself, to present what you know, it's it's just like in the professional world, what you know, you are the only one who knows what you know, unless you let someone else know that this is what
True.
you know. And so it also happens in networking spaces and all of that. So one skill, I mean, this communication skill, I'm a communication person, I love communication, and so that's why I'm see me emphasizing on this point, because at the end of the day, what you know will not really matter much unless you communicate it. It's just like this
Absolutely.
course, this if the founder of Kiawi Tech did not, take upon himself to say, I've learned this, I know how to do this, this is benefiting me, this is transformational, this is amazing, and I just want to share it with everyone else,
True.
we would not have Kiawi Tech today, right? And so
Exactly.
it's out of the ability to want to share. And it's not like he was a communications expert, he was a scientist. He was doing some sort of
The stuff in the lab and not
molecular stuff
much,
in
yeah,
chemistry that
nothing
I
much
can't
about
even think of.
public
Yeah,
communication. Yeah. And I
exactly.
and I just want to add, Beverly, that it's something like, for example, if you see me speaking today,
Right.
somebody might think that it's easy for you to sit online like this, even with your own friend and chat. This
Exactly.
is where one of the things that Kiawi Tech helps you. We make sure that we encourage you to be on video in our classes. That's the first part of the training. We encourage you to interact, like Beverly has emphasized, group
Right.
work and so on, and you make sure that you present.
Right.
One of the main reasons for that is that the IT world is a chain. You will never take any process in any of the field that you choose to train and work on from the beginning to the end. No, you always work with a team. So you probably be training to be just a database administrator. Somebody else trains to be cybersecurity specialist. You guys will get into one company. That person that has to do with cybersecurity, who is still working with data, you who is managing the data, you guys must work together. There's always a point where you meet, you exchange, and then you make sure that network flows. And then at the end of the day, the chain give that expected result. So you always be in constant communication,
Right.
constant, be it written, be it physical. So that's just part of the training. So that's one of the things we emphasize on from the beginning. So you are not just trained to be an IT specialist, you are trained to practice as an IT specialist as it's supposed to be.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mm.
It's super amazing, and it's the whole process of going through an institution where you can be disciplined, because I think there is a part of education that sometimes when you say that I have gone through school and I have this certificate, what that translates to most people, even employers, is the fact that you had some discipline to go through a training and
Yes.
listen to instruction and be humble to
And
follow
pay attention to detail.
learn exactly
Right.
and pay attention, because it's hard like to sit, pay attention and listen, and somebody's instructing you and telling you what to do and you're doing it. So being able to go through education is, it's not just about their certificate, it's about being worthy of that certificate and of the character to learn.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
oftentimes we say it as a joke in motivational speaking, but the skill will take you there, but character will keep you there. And so
Exactly.
that is also something that is emphasized all through the training in this institution, which I find really, really powerful, because even when we're put in groups, there is a group leader who is respectful of all the teammates. Although they're a group leader, the
So you
teammates.
learn management because you eventually grow in your field.
Exactly. And you're working on a project together, as in emulating what you will find in the real world, where
Exactly.
you would have colleagues that you have to work on stuff together and things. So to me, there's just so much more to take away from this institution, besides a certificate in saying that you have done a DBA training, or Azure training, or any of the other courses, cybersecurity and all whatnot. And so it's just a lot. And permit me, Mr. Elvis, perhaps this is a moment for me to just share one of those testimonies
Sure, 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 please.
from one of those who have gone through the training, so that others can hear other voices other than you and I speaking,
True, true,
so
true.
they can see that this is actually
Just a quick one while you're getting ready to that. I just want to add that please make sure you get a contact online, make
oh
sure
yes,
you get
yes,
registered, and then remember that
running
we
to
are starting in this April, and our orientation, our grand orientation, with every detail is on the 6th of April, and every other thing will be given to you. So please take those details into heart and then start practicing them. We are the background ready always to assist you in the registration process or the application process, and to answer all the questions that you need for you to be able to start out the course.
Here We Talk has been amazing. When someone told me about Here We Talk, of course I didn't know much about IT, but talking to Dr. Dennis, he gave me information about it. But Here We Talk is amazing. It's a great place for you. If you don't know anything about IT, it's okay. They'll help you. They'll teach you. They're really dedicated in helping you grow. So I would recommend Here We Tech to anybody that's interested in IT field. And like I said, even though you don't have any experience with it, I didn't have any experience when I started, like zero. He actually had to tell me what kind of computer to get. That's how zero experience I had.
look at that.
Great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Zero experience, from zero experience
The
to
most interesting part is having to ask for the right or even
Computer.
being directed and assisted in market on to buy the right laptop. That's a great one.
Exactly. Just look at that. I mean, take a look at this too.
Kiawitek Academic, I attended Kiawitek Academic 3 years ago, and ever since I stepped my feet or knew about Kiawitek, things have never been the same. I've been doing well with my family because of Kiawitek. We're all doing great. My wife graduated from that same school. She's doing fine. And other people that have introduced them to Kiawi, they are better of their life and they're doing great. So actually, I would say if anyone wanna be a good IT, no matter what specialty, you can come to Kiawi for advice. You will get a better advice from them. Yeah. I graduated as a database administrator.
Voila.
Yeah.
Welcome back. And look at that. That is
Oh, and just before
public.
you get going, I just want to emphasize those testimonies that have just come in are people I know personally who are excelling in their different institution. They are very committed and they are excelling, and they are our stars, as I can say. So you can imagine, just to add to all that they have said.
Right. I
Mm.
mean, he said he's been doing well, and his wife graduated from this same institution. I mean, I cannot count how many husband and wife, combinations I have seen, trained by this same institution, and it just makes life so easy, or even if I would say easier than before, the different jobs that they had, because most of them testify of like really tight work schedules, really very limited family time, and now most of the jobs that they get in IT are very flexible, mostly remote, and they can easily find some family bonding time, and it just makes life more beautiful.
True, true, true.
So the
And
pay package, not
yeah,
put aside, the pay package is also really handsome, and so it just puts a lot of other hurdles aside, and people
yeah,
really thrive. It is beautiful to hear some of these stories, and to think that these stories are coming off just because one person decided that they will not be selfish with what they know. They will not keep to themselves what they know, and they will not benefit all to themselves what they know, but they're going to share it as widely as possible to make
and
sure
that's
other people can benefit. And so it's impressive. It's impeccable for me when I think about the story and how, I mean, um, it's it's a journey that starts with an idea and the willingness to just start. Whether you know it all, you don't have to know it all. Just start from where.
share, share. Yeah, and I must say we are grateful for the fact that Dr. Dennis did not just keep these ideas to himself. He decided and committed himself to share. And then at the end of the day, he called it an evolution, a revolution. And that revolution is for the positive reasons. And today, a lot of us are, I should say, are the how can I put it? I just want to look for the best word to make to put it out there that thanks to his revolution, we are out here practicing and gaining a lot from the process and also making good life.
Right.
So that's something. Just to add to that, Beverly, you talked about the schedules that we do have.
Oh
We do
yes.
have great schedules. We do most of our classes are in the evenings or in times when you should have gone to work, where you are currently working. You come back, you're able to attend the class, do some practice, rest, and then prepare for the next day. Just like that. We
Mm.
do have 9 hours a week and like 3 hours every training. So you kind of choose between which of the days that you're comfortable, and then the time that you're comfortable and all of that. And at the end of the day, you succeed. And I just want to add to some other thing that it's not just about you watching the video. A lot of those things that we're going to teach you, probably if you go through YouTube, you'll see them. But there's something very interesting when you interact in class. That's
Mm.
when you really feel the confidence Because when you interact and exchange with your instructors and classmates, you feel more confident than just sitting and listening or watching videos.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Miss Elvis, for sharing that. I think that we're going down memory lane, and this is almost 40 minutes past the hour. And so, as we're drawing the curtains and winding down, I would just like to say that if you've been watching or if you watch this later and you're wondering if you can meet up with the finances, there is a scholarship available for especially those in lower and middle income countries who cannot afford it, to be able to cut the cost for you. So if you want to check out what scholarships are available that you can make the most of, I think it is kiawi.org. Is that the website? Kiawi.org.
Yes,
Kiawi.org. Yes.
yes. www.kiawitech.com. So this,
Kiawi.org. I think it's
yeah,
Kiawi
Kiawi.org, yes.
for Kiawi
Kiawi.org.
Foundation.
KiawiFoundation.org. So probably when you go through the checklist, you should be able to see all those details. So
Mm-hmm.
if you doubt anything, get in contact with us through kiawitech.com or any of our contacts number, and you should be able to get those details. And one other thing we should add is that we are not just money oriented in our training. That's
Thank you.
why you can start in Kiawitech IT Academy for at least you start your classes for 2 weeks before you commit financially. We do emphasize on you proving to us that you're ready for the course before
So
you can
after
commit.
the first class or something like that, first two
Yes,
classes, if you see
yes.
that this is
First
not
2 weeks
useful,
into the
you can
training.
go and your first installment will be refunded to you.
No, after you can pay now if you're already committed to the
Oh,
training.
okay, okay, great.
Yeah. So one thing we do say is if you're sure about what you're coming to do, you can pay your fees or your training costs right away. But if you want to be sure as to where you're going into, because one other thing we should emphasize here is that we have a lot of training institutions out there that gives you all these details at the beginning, and then when the training starts, you're not sure. So we give our students, the prospective trainees, the opportunity to come into our training, see exactly what we mean by what we say, and then commit yourself financially. Then you begin to see the details with regards to the scholarship, what the scholarship it's all about, what it takes for you to be able to have a scholarship, what it takes for you to be able to get all the necessary assistance at personal level, professionally, you will get it at that point. One thing we should add here is that we don't want to start telling you, because a lot of students do write or contact us asking where is the link to our scholarship. No, please, we don't start by offering you a scholarship. We start by making sure that you're committed to the training, and then probably you do not have the means, and then we can now say, okay, please, we can help you through this or that process. And one thing we should add is that the scholarship is not automatic. Even if you're coming from a low income country, we do have a way of verifying, we do have a way of making sure that you're committed to the training, so that you don't grab a position that was supposed to be meant for somebody else, because we do have limited position. So we
Right.
make sure that you prove that you're committed to the training before. Unlike other institutions where you apply for the scholarship before you do the training, here we show that you're committed to the training first, and then you can now get a scholarship or some kind of assistance. So I just wanted to add some light on that, Beverly. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Elvis, for nailing down that point. I think at this juncture, we would want to draw the curtains for our conversation. I hope that someone who was watching finds this useful, or someone who watches this later find this informative. And of course, the numbers are right there on the screen: +1 346 404 4120. You can reach out to our students department and be sure to get all the kind of help that you need, and whatever questions, even personal questions that you don't want to ask out loud for everyone to hear.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
all those would be responded to. And if you don't even know what you want, we can also be your counselors. We can also guide you
Absolutely.
and walk you through a process where you would help help yourself get through that those ideas that you have, and how
Yeah,
you
that's
can
true.
succeed. So please remember the grand orientation date is the 6th of April. The 6th of April 2024. We will be coming back again with reminders and reminders and reminders so that you can join us on the 6th of April and get all the information, get more and more information that would help you to make that decision that will eventually change your life. So,
Sure, sure, sure. Please. Do not even you can call us directly or write to us WhatsApp. We'll respond to you as soon
absolutely
as possible. Even you
awesome.
write to us on kiawitech.com, we'll respond to you as soon as possible.
All right, beautiful.
So
So,
thank you so much for committing to training with Kiawitech IT Academy. You will
beautiful.
never regret your choice or the fact that you decided to choose Kiawitech IT Academy.
Absolutely. So we're so thrilled to welcome our 16th batch of students, and this is a beautiful family that you want to get into. And so, for any registration inquiries, reach out to us. Go to the website www.kiawitech.com and get all the information that you need. And before we close, I just want to say if you are celebrating Easter, I just want to wish you a joyous weekend celebration of Easter. And we're looking forward to seeing you on the 6th of April as we help you embark on your journey to a successful career in IT. So until then, take care of yourself, stay tuned, watch this space for updates. Thank you and have a
Thank
good
you.
night. Yeah. Or
Bye.
good day or good morning, wherever you're watching from. Bye.
Bye.